Assalamu alaikum. A very good morning to all of you. I hope you all are fine and your Ramzan is going well too. Today, our topic is malice and jealousy, and it has a connection between the Ramzan and this topic. So, what's the connection? As Ramzan teaches us how to control our desire, how to control our anger, how to control our hunger, and how to practice the good deeds, and how to keep ourselves from bad deeds, and how to remove the bad feelings from our heart, and how to purify our heart, mind, and soul. So this is very very important topic, and in this lesson you will be able to create some good deeds in your personality, and you be able to build a noble character in your personality. So let's see. Islam teaches us to beware of hatred and malice. It is a disease of heart whose consequences are destructive to individual, the community, and the religion. Means its destruction is not only for single person; it's for the whole community. It's for the whole. It's for the destruction of the religion and faith. You know, all the downfall of the Muslim kingdom is just because of this feeling, right? And jealousy is basically a negative emotion at state of mind. And when hasad, as in front of you, hasad means wishing that a blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed on the envied person he taken away. He wishes that blessing should be taken away from him, whether it is a blessing in religion or in the worldly affairs. And because of jealousy, the person burns within himself, and he envies another person's, not only another person's beauty, he envies another person's wealth, his fame, good reputation, high position, good job, or any superior quality, any superior quality, or any achievement, or any possession, or maybe it can be in desire or wishes that the other should not have it. So it is very sinful trait, and it is forbidden in Islam. Let's see the literal meaning of envy: to feel discontent by the fortunes and success of others. Let me clear you with the word al-kishal. It is basically a word that describes the jealousy in this way, that jealousy is like insatiable itch inside of heart, like a bug bites your skin and you want to just keep scratching. The more you scrap it, the more it gets worse. Now you are supposed to ignore it, but you have to let it pass. That is actually hasad. You have to let it pass, that feeling, that negative feeling from your heart. As in Hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, do not hate each other, do not envy each other, do not turn away from each other, but rather be servants of Allah as brothers. So, what is envy? To feel discontent by the fortunes, by the success, by the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on that person is the envy or jealousy. And it is basically the feelings of our heart. In Arabic, uh, the term is defined with the word hasad, and who is jealous is called hasid or envier. I'm repeating it. Who is jealous is called hasid in Arabic, and in English envier. And the person envied is called masud. Envy or jealousy are one of the major root cause of many serious sins. As Allah Azza wa Jal says, don't wish for the kinds of favor and kinds of preference Allah has given some people over other people. Why? And jealousy can be in smallest things and can be in biggest things, like it could be even the love of father or mother. Why does dad love this one so much? Why he or she gets more appreciation from teacher? Okay, and the person who is jealous, what he tries to do, he he start hating the object of his envy day and night. He keeps plotting and planning how to hurt him and what he can do to make that person lose that blessing. To achieve his evil act, to achieve his evil thoughts, he does not even hesitate to cause him material, mental, and physical harm. In fact, he feels very happy doing so, and he never realizes how great a sin he is committing, for which he will earn the worst punishment. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warned those people or those sinners who cause mental and physical harm to their fellow human beings, who practice the cruelty, humiliation, or even murder them and feels so happy about it. Even if we have only harbored this feeling, this envy or malice in our heart, all our good deeds would be destroyed. Only just growing that feeling in our heart, our good deeds would be destroyed. So it is very scary as well. Just keep this feeling in heart, then it will cause the destruction of our good deeds as well. Like we haven't did any good thing, any good deed in our life if we have just feeling. In this feeling, in this hatred, you just trying to see people harmed and destroyed as well. Now let's see how it is the root cause of many other uh, sins. What was the first sin that was committed? It is recorded in the history. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the angels to bow down to Adam, Iblis refused. He not only refused that order, he also said he is made of clay and I'm made of fire. He created with the clay and I'm created with the fire. Because he was jealous of honor, as you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that time Iblis was ranked among angels. There was no higher rank than that possible in the ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's just because of it's just jealousy that brings him from highest to the lowest and the furthest away from Allah. Can you imagine the greatest of honors has been removed? So from that day, Iblis is active in evoking the bad deeds of every human being on this earth. As we know that he tempted the Hazrat Adam al Islam and his wife. They repented and forgave what they have done. They ate that fruit and they ate that fruit. Then Habil and Kabil were the brothers, and Kabil killed his own brother just because of jealousy, because Habil's sacrifice was accepted and he was just got jealous. If we look back into history, Bani Israel, Bani Israel was the Jews at that time. Sahaba thought that they will be first people to believe because they were the people of scripture. They knew the revelation. They recognized the Prophet ﷺ as their own kids. But it actually a jealousy who kept them away Not only kept them away, they also uh, they were also busy or keep plotting against the Muslims, and they wanted to kill Muslim forever, as we have discussed in the Battle of Khyber. So let know your hater be destruction. How? How is that? Hazrat Umar said, when you hate someone, you love to see your companion destroyed. So not let your hater be the destruction. Be destruction. You know what is malice? Its literal meaning is in front of you. It is basically a desire to cause pain, to cause injury, to cause distress to another. And the desire, it's a desire or intention to deliberately harm anyone or someone. So its definition is to hold empty. So empty means a state or a feeling of active opposition or hostility or cruelty in your heart, and expressing it when you get a chance is called malice. A person who nurtures hatred, nurtures means grow, or harbored that feeling in heart, and bearing enmity and dislike of fellow human being for no reason is called malice. Got it? Is it clear? A person, when a person is jealous, it is because of the person he envies has some blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if person nurtures hatred and bears enmity for no reason, it is basically malice. Islam teaches us not to hate people, rather we should hate for evil to come to people. There is necessary element of our love for good to come to people. Do you know what is the most virtuous faith? It is the faith to love for the sake of Allah, or to hate for the sake of Allah, and to work your tongue in the remembrance of Allah. So it is only in permissible in one condition: we can hate someone for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are some criteria, basic criteria in Islam, that you love for the people what you love for yourself, and you hate for the people what you hate for yourself, and you speak goodness or remain silent. So this is the basic teaching or instruction of Islam to build our noble trait in our personality. And it is also a part of faith to hate for his brother what he hates for himself of evil. Can only hate sinful deeds, but we are not allowed to hate the sinner themselves, right? So it is forbidden in Islam, as envy endangers our religion and faith. How it is really harmful for our faith and religion, because we always we question the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's favor and the preferences and the blessing, and we our focus is on the blessings of others, and we just keep on questioning why this person this has this, why this person has this, and the envier uh, always keep on questioning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. So it makes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anger. So malice is a type of jealousy as well, and we can see the example in our daily life. Like there are the students who are sitting in a classroom, and there are the some students who are just raising their on every single question in class, and you are the only one who's lost in the class, or who's not getting any word or single word of the teacher, and you start thinking, What the planet I am on? I lost like 10 minutes. Why I'm sitting here? And and you just not stop there. You start hating that girl or guy who are just raising their hand on every single question or giving the answer. Your all focus is on some who you think. And you think who is smarter than you, and maybe you think you start hating in this way that he may be a teacher's pet or it's a show off, and then you forget at that moment why are you in class, but you feel embarrassed that you are not getting answer and don't ask the question on the same way. So just keep in your mind while you are sitting in class, while you are in your family, when you think that someone gets more appreciation by other family members or more love, just keep in your mind that owe yourself, and you should not to be embarrassed to ask the question. And third thing, you are not supposed to prove yourself to anyone. This is very important too. And you also you should know that envy is the disease, or and the disease of envy and the malice is the one which shaves off not a person's hair but his religion, belief and faith. Okay, so it is very important, it is very serious disease, and we should keep ourselves from this disease. Well, the envy is like a razor, or envy and hatred it's like a razor, it shapes the religion and does not shape the hair. And the Prophet ﷺ said, shall shall I tell you something which if you did you would have loved each other? Spread peace between yourselves. So we can only spread peace in in this way if we remove this feeling, if we remove this feeling and purify our heart from this. The proper way to purify our hearts from hatred is to pray for the guidance and goodness for the oppressor whom we hate. By doing so, the angel will pray for the similar goodness for us. Okay, this is the only way to purify our hearts from hatred is to pray for the kindness. Now look on the hadith number, the first hadith. Avoid the disease of jealousy as it combusts good deeds, just as fire devours wood. Devours means destroy wood. So we just keep away from self because it not only endangers our religion and faith, it also destroy our good deeds, and this is very scary. Another hadith on the page number 38. I request you all, please open the page number 38. Look at your book. Twice a week, on Monday and Thursday, people's deeds are presented and forgiveness is granted, except for the two types of people: those who have malice and nourishes enmity. It is commanded that forgiveness should not be entered into their accounts till such time as the renouncement formally declare these dangerous feelings and purify their hearts. Means formally they declare and they remove that feelings, then they get the forgiveness. So we should save our faith only in this way if we remove this feeling, and we can remove or purify our heart by uh, praying to, by supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here is another thing: we should never pray for evil or destruction, or nor should we invoke the wrath of Allah and the hellfire for anyone. If we are in the state of hatred, we can't do this. Therefore, all of our supplications should be for goodness, by supplicating for goodness and guidance for sinners. If we hate someone for the sinner, for his sins, then there is a rule: we only supplicate for the goodness and guidance. and we will overcome our desire to cause them harm and replace this evil desire with the love of goodness for them. Then success comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah knows best what is the best for us, what's blessing is best for us. So we can't wish the same favors or preferences of others. We can't ask it. Or if you feel that is important, you feel that you want the same blessing, that you ask to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, instead of asking the question why this person has this blessing, and why you don't have this blessing. So we can't question it to the decision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can't question, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not question, it's not answerable to us. So that's why we should avoid such kind of feeling, such kind of negativity, because it not only destroy our, and it affects the thinking of the mind, and that person or envier can't think positively, can't do productively, and he just lost his senses, and he just only knows how to hurt that person, and he just focused on with all his attention of causing the harm to that person. So this is why it is very dangerous for health, for mental and physical health. It also cause depression, it also cause distress, anxiety in the for the person. So just keep away from this feeling, and keep supplicating for other as well, to keep away from this evil disease. As we have discussed, this was the first sin that was committed just because of this disease, and Iblis had that disease in his heart, and still he has. Now see, what are the causes of jealousy? First is the empty. Empty means the cause, like when you don't want to see anything good happen to that person, is enmity. Sorry, it's enmity. So what's the enmity? I told you the literal meaning, but here is the empty: when you don't want to see anything good happen to that person. So these are the way to identify whether this envy or jealousy in your heart or not. These are the ways, or these are the causes of fearing jealousy or envious. And the second is ambition. It hurts a person to see someone else above him. As we discussed in Habil and Kabil example, he killed his own brother because he never wanted to his brother above him. So that's why he killed his own brother. Third is pride and arrogance. When a person is self-conceited and arrogant, he or she feels very jealous to see anyone else doing better. So they can't tolerate, they can't bear anyone else doing better than them. So it is also due to the pride and arrogance that, like in the Jews, they had not accepted the teachings of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, although they recognized the Prophet ﷺ, because they knew the revelation, because they were the people of the scripture. But due to their arrogance, they had a strong in the defense system. So that's why they were the ruling on that particular area, the Khyber, and therefore they have their small principalities. But due to their arrogance, they couldn't stand along the Prophet ﷺ. The fourth one is fear. Fear that if another person would have such and such thing, then he or she may not have it. So it's a kind of fear that maybe Allah would not give such blessing whom He giving. So it is also shows the weakness in our faith also. So just keep away from this feeling. These are all the causes which have been given by Imam Ghazali. Jealousy is the strongest cause of unhappiness, and jealous person rendered unhappy by his envy, but also wish to inflict misfortune on others as well. And he lives in a constant state of being sad and dejected. It ruins his character and his blessing as well. And he always angry with Allah's way of distributing bounties to individuals. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also closes the door of success and guidance. And then he will deserve the wrath of Allah Almighty. And who live in jealousy live under continuous stress, and they ruin their own health and live a very miserable life because they can't change the Allah's decision. So they became the victim of the griefs and troubles, and they earn sins which are become burden on them. So envy and jealousy are the sources of dissatisfaction and self-torture. So both envy and jealousy lead to the destruction of happiness and deprive people of good things they enjoy. So the best refuge from this evil is to trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the purity of heart. How to cure this disease or how to overcome this disease? And the second thing is, if you feel that someone is jealous of you and try to harm you, then what should you do? There are two things. First thing, jealousy is forbidden. Second, start saying mashallah to the fuzzle or to the blessing of the person whenever you look, and whenever you feel such negative vibes from any person, say mashallah in front of them. If anyone, if you feel like due to the performance of so you are supposed Ali performed very well in any game, and you're supposed to uh, praise him as well by saying mashallah, you applied well, good job dear, in this way. And try to do good and try to praise him or her or appreciate his work as well, and try to give some gifts for him. Okay, if you have the feeling of envy feeling, and you're envious for the person, and show more kindness to that person. So these are the way. And there are also there is another way to purify the heart is to pray for the guidance. And if you feel that someone has the bad or has a is if you have see the any sin in any person, then just try to pray for the guidance and the goodness for the oppressor whom you hate. So by doing so, the angel will pray for you. The second is, if you feel someone is jealous of you, then what should you do? Just start supplicating or start reciting two surahs, Surah Falak and Surah Nas. In Surah Falak, the verse 113, min sharri hasidin ida hasad. So there is a protection. To ask protection for the evil, from this evil deed, from this evil disease, from the hasidin. So this is very very important to recite this surah in the morning, in your morning supplication, in your evening supplication, and whenever you go to sleep at night. Start making your habit to recite both surah or for the protection of from the enviers. This is the way. Another way is to remove this feeling, just to seek Allah's fazl. Fazl is that kind of thing or risk. Whenever you see any blessing to anyone, just start saying or just start praying or supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the spot. Allahumma inni as'aluka min fadlikal azim. This is also the supplication for asking that fazl. If you think he he has a good writing skill, or she has a good writing skill, and you want the same, and this is the good competition, you want the same thing, and you're not jealous, you're not that want to harm them, you want to improve your writing skill. So just keep asking, keep praying, or keep supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say, Allahumma inni as'aluka min fadlika azim, and you can say, I want the same quality in my personality. If you think that someone has is more generous to you then you it's more generous than you, then you can ask to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make a connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is very very effective, and this is not jealousy, right? And force yourself to be affectionate with the Masood. I told you, try to see his virtues. um, this is very important. Try to see the virtues and try to praise others. Make your habit, try to praise others. This will work. This will work. Definitely this will work, and this will remove your negative feeling, and this will also make others the more energetic vibes or positive vibes. Focus on your blessings and other in order to discourage envy. The Prophet ﷺ said, do not look to those above you, look to those below you, as it will more likely remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed on you. Like mm, many other people uh, can't see, they are blind, but we have eyes and we can see the things. This is a more precious or more important blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed us. So this is the way to discourage this feeling. Yes, very important part, your homework. Write down the hadith of your holy prophet regarding jealousy. Is very easy. You can write any one hadith that related to jealousy from your book. Question number 2. What is literal meaning of malice? Yes, this is also mentioned in your slide and lesson. You can get from there. And how the second part is, how does it harm that afflict the anger? Yes, what are the harmful effects of being jealous of jealousy? So I have discussed in the lesson. Just let me give some key points here. That it affects the mental health, it creates anxiety and distress, it is the source of unhappiness, and the envy always in the constant state of sadness and dejectedness, and he became despair, hopelessness, restless soul, and it also shortens the lifespan. And um, they became more rejected by other people just because of jealousy, because they always in anger mode and no one likes them. So this is a big loss for them, and they lost their thinking, they lost their senses, they don't know what they are actually doing, and they feel happy in causing harm to others. So this is very very dangerous, and these are the effects, harmful effects. Okay, question number 3. Yes, what does jealous person try to do? Very easy question, and you can get help from your book, and I have discussed it in the lesson as well. Okay, let me tell you that your answer should be 3 to 4 lines is enough for question number 2. For question number 2 and part B, you can say part B, it should be 3 to 4, it should be the 4 line, it should of 4 lines, it must 4 and 5 lines. You can get help from the lesson, you can get help from your book, you can get the help of what are the more harmful effects, or you can get help from anywhere as well. So it's an open-ended question, you can get from anywhere, and I have discussed it in the lesson as well. So this is all from my side. I hope it is clear to you that how to attempt the question, homework question, and it's all clear to you. So Allah Hafiz. Have a good day.